Tyler Reddick wins again. We're going to take a look at his dominance at COTA and check his chances for a fourth straight victory going into Phoenix. IndyCar also returned at St. Pete, where Alex Palou wins again. But listen, despite the repetition, we did have a really good week of racing, Alex. And Alex, do you have something on your eye? What is that?
Yeah, well, let me properly introduce myself this week. I am Fire Lord Zuko from the Avatar: The Last Airbender. I'm Ryan Preece after that Daytona race that one time, and I'm also the first person to try and fight Carson Hocevar. It didn't go well.
Yeah, get your hands off my man. Get your hands off my man. Don't touch him ever again.
Yeah, watch out.
Yeah, get your little eye patch. Like, girl, he needs a little eye patch. Got that little red eye.
Yeah, no, I just had a little bump on my eyelid removed. Nothing serious. It'll be gone in like a few days. This little redness on my eyelid.
Yeah, aren't you excited to explain it to every person you see for the next 2 weeks? It's gonna be great.
Work's gonna be so fun. I can't wait to just have all this conversation at work
and attention. Like girl, again, get the eye patch. Somehow the eye patch would be less distracting,
especially if it becomes a black eye tomorrow. Yeah. Oh, exactly. I can't wait. Oh, I love it. I just love this for me.
Yeah. Sorry, we're talking about eye patches. Tyler Reddick won again. What do you want us to talk about? There is actually stuff to talk about, though.
Alex Palou won again too. So
okay, now there's not much to talk about over at IndyCar. I'm not gonna lie, but we're not talking about IndyCar right now. We're talking about NASCAR COTA. COTA is one of my favorite road courses. I thought we had a really good race yesterday. Twitter, you might see people on Twitter be like, "Oh, that was so boring." Like, okay, we just had two super speedways. Of course, they think it's boring.
The Jeff Gluck poll when I looked at it last was at like 62 yes or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I haven't voted on it yet.
When NASCAR has said like, hey, I think they've alluded to it that they use the Jeff Gluck poll as like an indicator of what they do with races. That's why they do some of the things they do. They're trying to make that audience happy.
Yeah, it's what silly. It is. First driver in NASCAR history. Allegedly, Mike Joy said 1949, but it's Mike Joy. He's not really a credible source anymore. First driver in NASCAR history to win the first 3 races of the season, which is really more incredible considering 2 of them were super speedway races. And but what makes this most incredible is the fact that he beat SVG's. He ended SVG's road course streak, which we'll get to after we talk about Reddick. But he's going for 4 in a row going into Phoenix, which. Not typically traditionally a good Tyler Reddick track. I mean, he's had some really good runs there before, but we'll see how he is there in Toyota in general. Because Toyota and JGR, they've been fast there. That's the thing. But Reddick, I mean, when he was there in the championship 4, he was kind of out to lunch. So, but that was 2 years ago. It's a lot's happened since then.
Yeah, no, great race for Tyler Reddick. And I think a lot of people are going to be very conspiratorial about this whole thing. And come on.
I mean,
you can say maybe he lucked into the Daytona 500, only led 1 lap, but he had to make a really good pass on Chase Elliott there. Atlanta, he led the most laps. That's a more difficult track. He actually got wrecked in that race, and he still came back to win it. And then COTA leads the most laps again, whole different kind of track. COTA's, I would say, his best track. First track he's won on multiple times.
Oh, true.
And he holds off the best road course racer of the current era, Shane Van Gisbergen, to win it. This is so impressive what Tyler Reddick is doing. You can be conspiratorial all you want, but I think this is so cool. We're living in history. This has never happened. Winning the first 3 races of a season. It just feels, we've said this every week, the playoffs being gone, the vibes are being so much higher. Michael Jordan's team winning 3 weeks in a row. You're getting more media coverage. The vibes are just really good in NASCAR right now, I think. And this is definitely helping.
And we get to see Tyler Reddick's 3 wins immediately pay off into this huge points lead, right? Yeah. Whereas literally direct comparison to Christopher Bell, who won 3 races at the beginning of the season last year consecutively, it was a payoff that we didn't really get to have really ever. Because it was just going to matter in September, right? And
Yeah.
Christopher Bell couldn't even carry those points to the championship 4. But we can have the real conversation of Tyler Reddick winning the regular season championship now, because he's got a huge head start. He doesn't even need to win any more races in the rest of the regular season. Maybe he will. I mean, people are going to start winning more races and they're going to catch up. But he's a real contender for this regular season championship and in turn the championship.
And he's won the regular season championship before in the playoff era.
Yeah.
And he's off to a great start. He's, I believe, 70 points ahead of Bubba Wallace right now. I mean, he is just on it. This is a great start. And by the way, if he were to win the regular season championship, you get 100 points for that now.
Right.
You start the chase with 100. Right now, with his 3 wins a year ago, he would have had 15 points locked up, not including any stage wins if he has any so far. I mean, that's awesome. It's the vibes are just so much better. And we have some Patreon comments for Tyler Reddick. Patreon member Shane says Reddick's accomplishment here is mind-blowing. On top of that, he soundly beat the best road course racer in the sport, SVG, which makes the win even more impressive. And Patreon member Courtney says it's a great time to be a Toyota fan.
And kind of adding on to what Shane is saying, I mean, not only is Reddick's accomplishment mind-blowing, but this is how we build stars. I mean, people know who Michael Jordan is. Well, I think people are going to know Tyler Reddick's name at this point, because they keep seeing in the news Michael Jordan wins with Tyler Reddick. Like, Tyler Reddick's, I'm not saying he's going to become a household name or anything, but he's going to really establish himself as one of the stars in NASCAR. Because if you asked me, like, who the biggest stars are in NASCAR, I say Larson, Hamlin, Blaney, maybe Elliott for the popularity, but Reddick's not one of my first 5, but maybe he needs to be. And I'm curious to see another thing too, though. Remember Bell won the 3 races early in the season last year. Well, then he didn't win again until like Bristol in August, I believe. He went like a very long time without winning. So I'd be curious to see if this is it. If we're going to start going to normal tracks, right? Yeah. And the
Phoenix
big 3
is this
teams,
upcoming weekend.
Yep. Penske, JGR, Hendrick. I mean, they're going to be. That's what they really prepare for. So it'll be interesting to see how 2311 stacks up. I've had a lot of good things to say about Toyota, as Courtney mentioned in our Patreon comments. It's a great time to be a Toyota fan. I don't think that's going to stop anytime soon. But my main question is it going to be JGR or is it going to be 2311 from here on out? So
so Tyler Reddick is Tyler Reddick is the first driver in history to win the first 3 races of the season, and so no one's ever done that. But people have won 3 races in a row, and they have won 4 races in a row. The most recent time someone won 4 races in a row, if Tyler Reddick were to win at Phoenix, was Jimmy Johnson in 2007. That was in the middle of Jimmy Johnson's 5 in a row era.
And you know what's crazy? That's when I was like just starting to watch NASCAR. So that's like a really long time ago for me. And guess where Jimmy got that 4th win?
Was it Phoenix?
It was Phoenix. He got that 4th win at Phoenix. I'm just saying. So and that also again makes it really impressive. Again, 2 super speedways and a road course included in this streak for Reddick. I just find that really impressive. So but I 4 in a row. Jimmy Johnson 2007. I remember that. You
mentioned star power, and Tyler Reddick has such a good personality, and he is such a good person as well.
I like this from
not just from what we've seen, but what we've been told from people in the industry. He's a genuinely good person.
Yeah.
So I think he is someone who would really be able to embrace it. And then, did you see that, like, being part of a celebrity, you get these like weird PR things that like are a little exaggerated. Did you see that whole story about Michael Jordan and his son? And
I got asked about it the morning after the Daytona 500 from my coworker, and I was just so irritated because I'm just like,
that was the story. But I bring that up because Tyler Reddick was asked about that, and I think he handled it very well and professionally. And he's like, I saw nothing wrong with that. And after that, the story kind of died when he was like, I had no issue with it, or he saw no issue with it. So Anyway, I think Tyler Reddick is someone who can handle it professionally and also has the personality for that kind of stardom, especially if this keeps going or he keeps winning more races this year.
Well, that's what I'm saying too, because I want to ask the question: how long is he gonna lead the points here? Because he's gonna lead the points for the next month at least. like it's gonna take a while for anybody to catch him.
Like someone else is gonna have to go on a run and Tyler have bad races.
I mean, again, winning races, someone can catch that if they win a lot of races. That is the point of this point scale. If you win, you're going to be able to catch up and leapfrog guys, but they got to win races, right?
Yeah.
You know, are we expecting Larson and Hamlin to win a lot of races? I don't know. I didn't even expect Reddick to win a race this year at all because the dreamy Zack
winless a year ago.
Once every year, I say someone's not going to win, and then they bust off like wins in the first month. This is like the third year in a row that's happened.
That it is happened several
it's
times.
It's really funny.
Speak of winning, Shane Van Gisbergen's win streak came to an end. He comes just short of tying Jeff Gordon's record of 6 road course wins in a row. He finishes
What's going on
second.
with Hamakoda? What is like? This is the only road course he hasn't really won at. It's It's something with Coda at this point.
I wonder if it's a setup thing.
It has to be.
But it's also like that's the track where Ross Chastain won, so maybe it's just
that was the first year of the next gen though, so a lot's happened since then. Or the third year or second year. I don't even know.
It was early on,
long time ago, right?
Yeah.
It must be a setup thing, and he still finished second. But he's won the O'Reilly race. Like it must be something. It must be something like that. Because, you know, Watkins Glen and Sonoma, the teams have just as the same amount of experience in the next gen car. I don't really know what to say. I'd be interested to see what Shane says. But again, it's not like he was a lot better this year at Coda than he was last year because he wasn't really in that final winning picture last year.
Yeah.
I just find it interesting. This is the one road course that he just can't really seem to get a handle on. Maybe it's all of the slow corners, but there's not that many slow corners. This track really isn't that much different than Mexico City. You have one long straightaway, hard braking zone, some slow corners. So I don't have much to say about that besides it's very interesting, and I would love to see SVG when he does finally win a cup race at Coda, it's gonna feel big because finally he conquers all the road courses.
Right. Until they add another one.
Well, yeah, until they add a random one. So
because you think he's gonna win San Diego, right?
Well,
SVG.
last year he had a mediocre Coda, and then we're going into Mexico City, and I'm saying, y'all, he might don't count on SVG because he didn't really show that good. He wasn't that good at Coda. Well, I mean, he's probably going to go out to San Diego and just blow everyone's doors off. So I don't know.
So our top 10 for this race was obviously Reddick and SVG. Then you had Christopher Bell, Ty Gibbs, 4th after a little bad PR week for Ty Gibbs.
Traditionally pretty good at road courses and Coda, Ty Gibbs. Yeah. So good run for him.
I've picked him for a road course winner too.
Yeah, me too.
Fantasy. Michael McDowell, 5th.
McDowell. Can we talk about him? Like Travis Peterson, he just gets bored on top of that pit box. He just gets bored.
I want what the hell? Sure, as a crew chief.
He wants attention so bad. He's like, let me stay out forever. It worked out though. 5th place finish, fresher tires on that last restart.
Yeah.
I mean, they probably didn't have to stay out for, I guess they got track position from it. So yeah, it worked out for them. I mean,
and then 6th place, Kyle Larson. You were upset with him at one point, Zach, in this race.
Do we have a Patreon comment about him or do I talk about him now?
I don't think we had a comment about him.
He was just racing. He was like throwing dive bombs on Christopher Bell, like in stage 2 or something, or maybe it was the beginning of stage 3. And I wasn't really sure why we were racing that hard.
And we had a comment last week, and I understand why they said this. Someone said, what do you mean Larson still has things to learn with this format, blah, blah, blah. And I understand why they said that. He just won the championship. He would have won under this format a year ago. I understand. But he is just so over aggressive at times. He doesn't need to be. And it has costed him a lot. And I feel like that's why he kind of has this reputation that for some fans and some drivers, I believe, for just kind of just being overly aggressive for no reason.
I just don't know why. I think it was still stage 2. I just don't know why. It was 10th place.
Yeah.
Why are we racing? Maybe it's because it's Christopher Bell. Maybe something happened before that. Maybe he
remember when he randomly wrecked Blaney at Gateway last year. Larson.
I wasn't watching live, but I believe, or was it the year before then? But I do remember that, actually. Yeah,
I think that was the episode you didn't do last year.
Yeah, because I was out of town. So
yeah,
I do remember that. But that's what I'm saying. Like, in another universe, I saw Larson accidentally getting spun by Bell because he was being too aggressive. Right. Because you're putting yourself in that situation. And now, second week in a row, he has problems and doesn't get a lot of points. Like after you make a really, really dumb mistake at Atlanta, if I'm putting myself in that seat, it's like, okay, I need to be extra careful today because I'm already in a hole. Right. Like, that's just my opinion. That's how I treat iRacing. If I just wrecked in a race, I go into the next race extra safe. I need to finish this race. I just lost iRating. That's how I think of it.
Right.
I don't know.
Chase Elliott's 7th, pretty quiet day for him. I'd say that's how he's always sort of top of the standings. Really quiet.
That's days. Fine. 7th.
Ryan Blaney was super fast stage 1, finished 8th. He faded toward the end. You know, him on road courses, that was just like, we're going to finish 25th today a few years ago. Was a contender most of the day.
Very
faded
fast.
a bit. AJ Allmendinger, we'll talk about him in a little bit, finished 9th. And Denny Hamlin, top 10. He called this like a win for him because he's made so many mistakes on road courses. Good for him.
Yeah, he
needed a good day after Atlanta and Daytona.
Right. That was kind of the big thing about COTA. Like, if you could like go in here and have a good day, especially when you weren't expecting to, that's just awesome. So I'm excited to look at the point standings in a little bit because, just a lot of guys just had clean days. Yeah.
Well, we have some comments just in general about COTA as a race. Patreon member Brendan said, "Am I allowed to say I enjoyed a road course race? Spotty Fox coverage aside, COTA exceeded my expectations, and I'm stoked to see that other folks other than SVG can win on non-oval tracks."
I think COTA also, following up 2 super speedways is just never going to work for COTA.
That's a tall task.
It's a tall task. I think if we were at Vegas, girl, like that would be great, right? Going to Vegas.
Why doesn't Texas take, or why doesn't COTA take Texas's old date in the spring, like in April, March? I feel like we could go to Phoenix, Vegas first. I don't understand why we're doing
COTA. I wonder
if you want a road course third, put Sonoma there. We can go green Sonoma. People want that.
I mean, yeah, but I don't know. I wonder if COTA has something going on in May. That's the only thing I'm wondering. Because they have a lot of series and stuff, but I can't really find it. They have the GT World in April. Late April, they have GT World. So, I mean, I don't know.
I just feel like it's a weird spot to put it.
I mean, I just think they could swap around again, just with Vegas and Phoenix. But either way, I think COTA, and I was really not a fan of the short layout when they came out with it, because I think COTA's full layout, whether
it's grown on me.
I think the full layout is kind of too long, ideally for stock cars. But like, the point is, like, this is an F1 track and we're racing on an F1 track. I want to do the F1 track, but it's worked out well because it's kind of short track racy. The O'Reilly cars show that well. The Cup cars even show that well, like throwing dive bombs into the stadium section.
Yeah.
Good racing last year. Honestly, I mean, there was a time there were like 4 wide. I forgot what corner it was, but like there was a whole like pack of 10 cars, maybe a few laps after the restart. It was really good racing. Kyle Busch was in there. He got like who did he shove out of the way? Maybe it was Jesse Love. It was that moment he shoved Jesse Love out.
Yeah.
They were going like 4 wide around him at one point. It was some good racing. It's just like, I can't believe it's like we're watching pack racing at a road course. Like, it was just really cool.
Yeah, no, I really liked it. It was simple.
I love NASCAR road racing, but it's fun.
Yeah, I like it.
These cars are not meant, especially the O'Reilly cars. Like, these cars are not meant to be taking these turns like this, and they're fighting for a rear grip. Again, the Cup cars still have neutered some of what makes NASCAR road racing special.
Yeah,
because they're more built to do it. But they're still not GT3 cars. Don't think they're like GT3 cars. They're still not anywhere near it.
And Patreon member Phil says, pretty great road race and stoked to see history made with Tyler Reddick, who is a rare talent.
That is just
high praise for Reddick.
Thing. Yeah, seeing someone get 3 in a row is just cool.
Yeah, solid road course race, saw history, and I mean, if SVG would have won too, that also would have been history, tying Jeff Gordon's record. I mean, it was very good race at COTA.
Yeah, I wish that would have been a good battle.
Something else that I thought we might have seen history for was Connor Zilisch was running as high as 4th. And I know he wouldn't be the youngest winner in history because Joey Logano has that record probably for a very long time. But Connor Zilisch got spun on a restart, and he went 31st to 14th after a spin, and great recovery after that spin for Connor. And he said after the race that was one of his best races ever.
I'm surprised to see him adapt to that car like so fast, honestly. Mm-hmm. I really didn't expect him, because again, SVG has experience in the Cup car and he's great. I get that. Mm-hmm. But Connor Zilisch, the Cup car is a very different car than the O'Reilly car. And this is maybe what he did practice at Watkins Glen last year, but he didn't do the race. He did COTA last year, so he does have experience at the track in the car. There's the sim. I mean, he can ask his teammates for advice. So I guess it makes sense. It's just for him to have that outright pace, outrunning SVG at some point, maybe not at some points. I guess SVG was in front of him at that point.
Yeah, SVG was 3rd when Connor was 4th.
Okay, yeah, never mind then. But that is impressive.
Still, I thought Connor could have won this race low key. Like, I don't know if he would have if he didn't get spun on that restart, but he was there and he was really, really fast. He had worked his way into the top 10 and then was meticulously working his way through the top 10, got all the way up to 4th.
If Watkins Glen was in the summer, God, all of our road courses are like the first half of the year. If the Watkins Glen was in the summer, I'd be interested to see, like, you know, him getting more time in the car, even just at ovals and meshing with the team, what he's going to be able to do. I mean, heck, keep an eye on him in May at Watkins Glen. His first ever O'Reilly start there. Yeah, he won. So,
yeah, no, I think he's going to be a lot of fun to follow. And someone else to talk about is Myatt Snider. Did not expect to talk about Myatt Snider, but he filled in for a sick Alex Bowman. And what did you think of that? That just Myatt Snider being the choice going in. Alex Bowman was already pretty low in the running order.
Yeah, my brain can't get off Bowman. Just like, is he like sick or is it the heat? Like, I guess it's not important either way. It feels kind of old school. Like, I feel like this used to happen a lot, even though it's not really related to the playoff format. I feel like it used to happen a lot more.
Yeah.
I found it really cool, the story, the tweet about him texting his friend Brad Perez, who is a driver, crew member. So he's on social media, and he's like asking him for the breaking points at COTA for urgent, right? And I just find that the sport is so cool in the way it works. Sometimes it's just so cool. Cool for him. I saw him pull in like with like 1 lap to go. They probably didn't have any other positions to gain, but it kind of sucks for Bowman, and we'll talk about him at some point with his season.
We'll talk about points probably after this segment.
Yeah,
but Bowman is 36 in points, y'all. For 3 races in, but he's in a contract year. I know it's 2 super speedways and he was sick here.
Like, girl, you got a tummy ache. You got a tummy ache. Like, girl, you need to get together. I'm joking. If he's sick, get out of the car.
Yeah. But Myatt Snider, he was a pit spotter for Jamie Little, and I believe he does this for Marty Snider in the TNT and NBC side as well. But he has raced on and off in the O'Reilly and the Truck Series. But he's been carrying his fire suit and helmet every single week, and this week it paid off. Cool.
Like, that's random.
I'm assuming there was no one else on standby, right? We have a Patreon comment from Chrisissippi. Isn't it weird that Hendrick didn't have a backup ready when they knew Bowman was sick? Seems like they were underprepared, or Hendrick tried to put in Corey Day and NASCAR said no. Wouldn't he be the logical choice because he's their O'Reilly Series driver? Cool for Myatt Snider, though. but there's something weird about Hendrick, of all teams, not having a plan B. I don't know if Corey Day was there. I haven't seen anyone reporting
I assume
that.
most of the O'Reilly drivers would have flown out already.
Yeah. So like with Brad Keselowski, he had Joey Hand on standby. I don't know what the rule is, like how soon you have to have a standby, like prepped and announced or whatever.
I don't think it matters as long as they're approved.
Obviously not, because Myatt Snider got in the car last second.
And Myatt Snider has won an O'Reilly race at a big oval, and Jeff Gluck and Jordan Bianchi made it sound like that was NASCAR's reasoning for approving him for the Cup road course.
Yeah.
So
because I don't think Myatt Snider's ever done a Cup race, right? If he has, it'd be in like one of the
that was his. I believe
cars.
someone posted yesterday, like that's the first time since XYZ that someone made their debut their first laps and by filling in. Yeah. I mean, so with Bowman being sick, sorry to cut you off. With Bowman being sick, did we know he was sick yesterday morning? Was this a thing? I feel like it sounded like a thing that just kind of spurred up.
TV was not talking about it as it was happening. And Gluck, Matt Weaver, Bob Pockrass, they were all tweeting like, hey, Bowman's not feeling well. He's saying a lot of things on the radio, and Fox didn't talk about it.
Yeah.
Some of our Patreon members were talking about that as well. We're not going to go into that as much, but I don't know. I don't know if this was like a thing we knew beforehand or what, but
I mean, they would have been more prepared if.
But I want to go back to Chris Mississippi's point here about Hendrick not having like a specific relief driver. What do you think about that? Because Bowman used to be that guy for them about 8 years ago.
Well, that makes me think they just weren't prepared. I mean, Brad Keselowski, he knows all week that he might need someone to replace him at COTA.
Yeah.
Right. That's not the same with Hendrick if Bowman's just getting sick the morning of. So, and certainly it's not going to be Corey Day, because I don't think he's going to be approved for something like that to get in a Cup car. Normally, Allgaier is literally their guy shown with
Larson. It's usually Allgaier.
Yeah, right. Larson at the 600. So, yeah, whatever junior motorsports guys they have. I mean, Allgaier's mostly done it. Like when Jimmy had COVID that one year, and I don't know, trying to think. Regan Smith. Speaking of grabbing people off pit road, Regan Smith.
NASCAR Chasm made a funny post about that, saying that Hendrick probably went over to Fox being like, hey, can we use Regan? But they were like, how about Myatt Snider? He's working for Fox today. I don't know. I thought it was.
Put Jamie Little in the car.
Post. But the ponytail.
Let her cook. Let her cook.
Oh my gosh. Zach, do you have the point standings for us to take a look at?
Pull them up. I actually really
good for Myatt Snider though. That's really cool.
Yeah, that is cool. I did share. Is it coming up? Oh, there it is. There she is. Darcy blows.
Point standings, man. Tyler Reddick has a massive lead here over 16th and has about a 70-point lead over Bubba Wallace. Wow. And look at for our audio people, our chase right now includes the likes of Shane Van Gisbergen in 5th place, 25 ahead of 16th. Look down here, Michael McDowell's in there, AJ Allmendinger, Daniel Suarez.
All three Spire cars being in the top 10 is kind of crazy.
Zane Smith got involved in one of those incidents. He was running 6, I believe, on that last restart. He got crashed, but he's still plus 10. Looking in here, Noah Gregson's only -3. I mean, it's early on, but we have quite the jumbled points right now.
Yeah, and Alex Bowman, the 48 team, I think they have a deficit that they cannot afford to have, because I think they're going to be one of the teams on the bubble, whether they're having all these issues, right? Yeah. And to be noted, 3 races in, 2 super speedways. I don't think we can take too much stock into this until after Vegas, honestly. Maybe even until after that. But, you got to be worried if you're Bowman. Chase Briscoe is just a little disappointing. Because
27th Briscoe,
and they've had speed. They've just had issues. Like their damn wheel fell off yesterday. Like the whole axle, like the transaxle or whatever, it just like one of the wheels just stopped spinning, and it's like they're just driving off one wheel. It's that just random issues like that. But Hamlin having a good day, kind of clawing back that points gap.
Yeah, Hamlin's -8 in 2030.
And again, making the chase isn't the issue here. They'll make the chase.
It's those bonus points you get at the start.
Are you going to catch Tyler Reddick though? Right. I don't know,
because that's getting further out of reach already, and it's already race 3.
Yeah,
because I mean, Reddick's plus 121 over 16th. I mean, you got to keep adding that on the further back you get, and it's going to keep expanding the further in the season we get.
Now, if Hamlin goes and wins 4 races like he did last year in the regular season, it's like, okay,
he'll catch up.
He's going to catch up. He's going to catch up, run good every week. We have 23 races left. We have a long time. This could change. That's why, it's hard to take stock into it now. But people like Alex Bowman need to be hitting the panic button low key.
Alex Bowman is last in points of all the full-time cars.
Yeah. That's just concerning.
That's unacceptable for a Hendrick car. Even if it is 2 super speedways and a road course, that's really bad.
I mean, yeah, it was just unfortunate circumstances, but it's still points racing. It's points racing. It's you're going to get unlucky, and you got to catch up when you lose points. Christopher Bell too, and really all of JGR is not in the chase. Like Ty Gibbs being the highest is crazy. So it'll be interesting to see how these points shuffle out. Ross Chastain too, who's been showing speed, I feel like in
Austin
general.
Cindric is 31st in points.
And then watching the guys like Daniel Suarez try to keep their claws on the wall as they slide down the order. Or maybe they'll stay in the chase. I don't know.
And I'm curious how much, if let's say Austin Dillon does really good at Richmond later this year. I mean, he's -33, but a win that would put him way up, like right now, earlier in the year. I'm curious if he runs well there again this year, how many points he'd be able to make up just from that one race.
He ain't gonna make the chase.
I'm trying to be an optimist, Zach, for him.
He ain't gonna make the chase. When your guy's like in 20th in points and you get that win, that's when it's really gonna hit. So Austin Dillon needs to have like the best season of his career if he wants to.
Well, not off to a good start. 34.
Not off to a good start. So I'll be interested to see these points as we kind of start. Again,
this is fun.
I'm excited to go through some normal races now. I think we had a really, I'm kind of over this wacky start to the year, the 2 super speedways and the road course. I'm ready for some racing, like real. Not that it's not real racing, but like I'm ready for some just normal
core racing. NASCAR racing.
Core NASCAR. Let's just get some core NASCAR racing going. We got Phoenix, Vegas, Darlington, got some good races coming up. So should be fine.
Excited for that.
Take the points off.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the cool suits were malfunctioning, and AJ Allmendinger needed medical assistance after the race. He posted afterward that he's doing okay. Our Patreon member Jesse said, "Can we talk about the cool suits malfunctioning? There's got to be a better solution. Several drivers are passing out at the end. Is not safe." Bozy made a really good tweet. Bozy Tataravich posted an article for motorsport.com and had a really good tweet just explaining why this is happening. And in short, the gist is, it sounds like, that the aerodynamic team and people did some things that are taking away from what goes into the cool suits, which that's not good. But that, in short, sounds like is what is happening. It's more complicated than that. But I thought that article is really interesting. Zach, do you have anything to say about that? Welcome back, Zach.
I don't know, girl. You were talking about Bozy. I assume you finished your sentence.
I did. I asked you what you thought, and then you left the call.
I was trying to look up where the arrow opening was, and then my internet was like, "No, girl." I think it's in the right side passenger window, like the opening for the ducts. It might be somewhere else though. It might be no, I'm pretty sure it's that right side opening. So yeah, the team, the more the team wants to get out of the aerodynamics, the less the cooling's going to work. I don't know how I feel about that. Denny Hamlin on his podcast made it sound like it's, something that NASCAR keeps a really strict control of, but I don't know. You don't hear about this happening in IndyCar, really? And
Not that I remember.
Denny makes it sound like it happens like once the caution comes out, because then the cars aren't like getting airflow and the heat just kind of soaks and it starts overheating, which makes sense to my brain.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if NASCAR should look into like changing something, because if the teams are just gonna like over engineer it to, you know, screw the driver, over engineer it, it's like, what are you gonna do?
Like, I'm not smart enough to know what rule change would do that, but something to keep the aero from being able to take over the air they need to keep the cool suit going.
Well, they used to run it to where it was like they didn't have to run an opening. It would be like, okay, do we want a fast car and cover this hole, or do you want cooling, right? Until there was like a really hot Brickyard 400 coming up, I remember, and NASCAR was like, okay, no, every team needs to run the opening. But now, you know, they've just found ways to mitigate the drag and gets less air, and now we're here. Denny Hamlin, though, and other drivers don't run it at all. Yeah. They don't need it. It's like a risk versus reward. And I would not take the risk. If it's going to burn me and boil me, I'm not going to take the risk. So,
yeah. And what Bozy says in that article is that if you have one and it goes out, you're effectively wearing like a sweatshirt and it's like 120 degrees in the car.
Right.
So,
and that water will become hot. And
and the water becomes hot. It's not good. But we have another Patreon comment about this from our newest Patreon member, Edward. Thank you for joining, Edward.
Carl? No, I'm just kidding. Carl Edward.
Edward says, I hope the teams or NASCAR can figure out a solution to making sure these suits don't fail as often. It's crazy. This is only the first hot race of the year, and there'll be plenty more with worse heat. Yeah.
I wonder if something should be done about that, though. I don't know. I mean,
I would imagine there's something they can do. Like, this happens pretty often.
Yeah, with the cool suits, I just don't know how they police it, because it's just the teams are doing it to themselves somewhat indirectly.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not sure what they can do at all. Let's talk about Fox. Patreon member Blake sent in, Fox's coverage continues to be awful. If it wasn't outside the top couple of cars, they weren't covering it. Bowman was nearly in the infield care center before they even bothered to mention he was even off track. Hope he's okay. And there was the one battle I mentioned, like where there was like 10 cars in a pack, 8, you know, they're going 4 wide. They did show a little bit outside the first couple of cars, but I think, you know, near the end there, they were very focused on just watching Reddick turn laps. Yeah. And I can't speak on the IndyCar race at all.
Well, they did that exact same thing you just said, but for Alex Palou in the IndyCar race. Yeah, and that was very annoying.
That's a bad habit. You made it sound like, though, when I talked to you yesterday, well, this is more about the race, but like they did a good job. Did they do a good job like following the pit cycles at all in IndyCar?
They did better than they did a year ago, I think.
Okay. That's just, I feel like Fox they know how to cover oval races, but sometimes a road course race that gets strung out, they don't really know.
You know that overhead camera at St. Pete specifically, where you see the car coming off pits and then they're coming off of turn 1 at
like
St.
from a
Pete.
Helicopter or something?
Yeah. They were actually showing that. I feel like they maybe did last year, but they were showing that a lot yesterday, which is good. But we'll talk more about IndyCar in a minute. But Fox really didn't bother me yesterday for NASCAR. Maybe I'm just like not accepting it, but I'm just like, this is what we got. I don't know.
Nothing really got on my nerves.
I feel like they're a lot better this year, guys. Like maybe I've just given up on being negative. I don't know. I didn't have many issues. Like, yeah, it wasn't great, but it wasn't like awful either. But we had some awful Fox broadcasts the last couple of years, and I don't think we've had an awful one yet, personally.
They felt locked in on the strategy, like talking about the pros and cons of people pitting late, pitting early. Christopher Bell's 2-stop on the final stage. I felt like, it was decent. I think could be better.
If I were to have a single gripe, it's that Boyer acts like he's having a beer with Harvick and they're like just sitting on a couch rather than commentating a race, which that's kind of Fox's vibe, though. They want it to be like you're hanging out with your friends. But the CW does that so much better, where it's like you're yelling at your TV with your friends.
Yeah, I don't get that vibe from Boyer necessarily.
That's what he's trying to do. I feel like
Maybe it's awkward. I always think Boyer and Harvick just have awkward banter sometimes.
Yeah, they have weird.
Probably
chemistry.
part of that. They do have weird chemistry.
I think Kevin finds him annoying.
Well, Kevin's not alone in that. So Kevin Harvick, you are not alone.
We have another.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
Well, I don't know. Mike Joy was trying to give us a heart attack on the final lap anyway.
Well, yeah, and Patreon member Edward had this to say about Mike Joy giving everyone a heart attack on the last lap. Now something I want to say about a random thing that happened. Why the heck did Mike Joy feel like screaming randomly about Carson Hocevar spinning? I don't need to feel like something major happened. The 77 was running at the back all day, and it was the final lap, and Reddick had a huge lead. If the caution came out, it wouldn't have changed anything.
Like, damn, girl, shut up. Like, I peed a little bit. It scared me. Like, oh my God.
So I was on my phone, like just reading Twitter, whatever. And my grandma was visiting for the weekend. And she wasn't looking at this TV when this happened. And Mike Joy started screaming. And my grandma's like, oh no, did Reddick crash? And I'm like, no, someone in the back did. And she's like, oh. And I'm just like, I don't know why he did that. Anyways, like that was like a Townsend Bell, whoa, like kind of yell. But it was just like, Mike, it's the last lap. Like if they were like side by side and, you know, yellow ends the race, like, yeah, I can understand. But what? I don't know. I'm glad he's awake. He's been sleepy Mike Joy past couple years. So
yeah, he has been very animated this year with those wreck calls. He's been getting back into it.
I don't know if he said it, but his call for Daytona was pretty good. The finish. I
don't even remember. It was all right.
It was all right.
It was pretty good. I mean, he's still past his prime, but fine.
Well, before we go into IndyCar, Zach, did you have anything to say about Larson's NSFW talk about the trying to get fluid in his mouth or something?
Oh, yeah, because he said he needed more inches to get something in his mouth. I've been there too, Kyle. I've been there too. He's just like me, for real. He's just, I get it. I get it.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That's all we got for that.
That's all I have to say on the matter. To email my PR agent for more.
That's me. So
that's Alex.
IndyCar at St. Petersburg. Season opener for IndyCar. Alex Palou won. Moving on. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, damn. Really? For real? That's crazy. I'm
shocked. But in all seriousness, this was an all right race. I wish Fox would have covered more than Palou being by himself for like 80% of the race. Top five were Palou, Scott McLaughlin, Christian Lundgaard, Cal Kirkwood, and Pato O'Ward. So Mick Schumacher made his IndyCar debut, and he got welcomed to IndyCar with the resounding lap one crash, thanks to Stingray Robb and Santino Ferrucci. That is the most IndyCar sentence ever. Lap one crash with Stingray Robb and Santino Ferrucci.
Like, was Stingray Robb trying to like join the wreck? Because I saw the replay and I'm just like, baby, where were you going?
That Jesus money's got to run out at some point, right? I don't mean any offense to Stingray Robb, but come on. That was silly.
I thought that was rigged. Because at first, when I was at a restaurant at the time watching on my phone, at first I thought that was Mick Schumacher doing that. I'm like, but then I'm like seeing the name pop up, like, oh, that's Stingray Robb. Because at first I'm like, oh no, Mick, that's really bad to just jump into the wreck like that. Because that's literally what happened. They just jumped into the wreck.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like. Ugh. Yeah. I don't know.
So sorry for Mick. Hopefully he can make more than one lap at Phoenix. That'll be his oval debut.
No, because they're going to jack up on the restart. They're going to...
Well, that'll be his second orientation.
They're going to wave off the restart.
They're going to wave off a restart next week.
They're going to wreck so many cars at Phoenix. They're going to find a way. They're restarting on the turn. They're going to find a way to mess that up.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, no.
They don't cut the dog leg, though. Trust, they don't.
That's good.
They can't. They can't.
Another
they will
thing
wreck if they do.
I thought was pretty ridiculous was Marcus Ericsson made this insane block. Like he was at Indianapolis. Nearly went all the way down to the pit wall blocking Marcus Armstrong. And I don't know why this wasn't a penalty, quite honestly. I think that maybe should have been a penalty.
Yeah, I did see it because Armstrong makes his move to the inside. Like Ericsson made his defensive, like he committed to a defensive line. I get that. But then Armstrong's like, okay, I'm going to go deeper. And then Ericsson's like, no, I'm going to keep fading over. Like, you can't do that. You can't just cover him off after you already. Yeah. Like, you want this lane, but he wants even the more inside. You can't just cut him off there.
Yeah, I thought that was crazy. And Armstrong was very upset Ericsson did not get a penalty. I don't know.
I mean, I know IndyCar wants to be a little hands off with race control, but that's not where race control is. And you have to put your hands on it sometimes.
Ericsson, by the way, was second at a point while Pelot had gotten the lead on one of the first pit cycles, and Ericsson got up to second, and his car was handling so bad. He was holding everyone up. He's part of why Pelot got that 14-second lead. I think Pelot would have won anyway, even if he did move out of the way. But then once the tires started to wear, Ericsson was just like, just really bad, like about to crash bad. Then when they finally got around him, he just like started falling backward like crazy. I don't know exactly where he finished, but not
contract year for him, right?
Yeah, contract year for Marcus Ericsson.
Like Dennis Alger's like kind of under the Andretti umbrella, and
good race for him, by the way. Dennis Alger,
did he get a top 10?
Yeah, he qualified. He made the Fast 6 too.
Yeah, I saw that. Qualified third or something up there.
Yeah, so Ericsson needs a good year. And I think he showed he still wants it, but I don't know if he's still got it. I wasn't impressed with
He's one of those guys that's like really good. He needs to join Penske. Wait, he's good at the Indy 500, but nowhere else.
Why does he need to join Penske?
He's good at the Indy 500 and not good anywhere else.
Joseph Newgarden's contract is up this year too, by the way. So maybe
is that not literally the definition of a Team Penske driver? Like, I'm so serious.
You have to win a lot, but I mean, they hired David Malukas, so maybe that doesn't.
Maybe he should have won 2 or 3 Indy 500s. Like, let's be for real.
That's true.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, he can go win Indy 500s.
Well, speak of Team Penske, former Team Penske driver Will Power, his first Andretti start ended with the DNF. He ended up losing a tire. That was like very NASCAR. Like, I think it was the right rear tire just popped off after a pit stop. It was weird.
Baby, just tighten the lug. What like
he's got that 26 team. It's Colton Herta's old pit crew. Like, of course.
Never mind. Jesus Christ, Andretti. I forgot all about that. Damn it.
Yeah.
Damn it. I would have never signed that contract if I was him. I would have never.
Oh man.
I'd rather be racing prototypes in IMSA right now than doing that. That's crazy.
Girl. Well, last thing in IndyCar, Joseph Newgarden was the biggest mover of the race. He started 26. Why is he qualifying so bad? I don't know. I didn't watch qualifying.
I don't know.
But he rallied up to 7th. So
I love good news.
I love good news.
This feels like Denny Hamlin saying 10th place feels like a win at a road course. Girl, that to me was 7th at a road course.
Honestly, when he was 12th, when Joseph was 12th, I was like, you know what? I'll take a 12th.
I'll take a 12th. Top half of the field. Let's go. Like, it's like we're fans of like Ty Dillon or something. Like, what are we doing? Why are we so happy for this?
Well, okay, y'all. Let's get into hot topics, because, oh boy, we got some topics for y'all.
Did y'all know there's Twinks in St. Pete? We got to go next year. I heard Michael Waltrip said there's some Twinks in St. Pete on the boats right next to the water. Just saying.
And they go really fast through them, apparently.
I'll go really fast through a Twink. I'll tell you what.
And you know what? Townsend and Michael were talking about these Twinks and their kinks. Like, okay, like let's
Twinks
go.
with kinks. All right, I'm not afraid.
Which
nothing.
ones?
I'm gonna tell you what.
Let's go. I'm down to talk about that.
First of all,
Waltrip.
Go ahead.
Michael Waltrip says Twink on the truck broadcast. Michael Waltrip says, "Quote: Look how fast they go through that Twink."
That's what he said.
Townsend says, "Kinks."
I normally skip that kinks? Part of the episode.
Michael says, "Kinks. Thank you." Michael then says, "It's a turn and a kink, so I'm calling it a twink." He doubles down. Townsend gave him an out. Like, "Oh, you mean it's a kink?" Then Townsend responds, "Let's go with kinks."
Like, first of all, can I just tell you how Michael Waltrip makes Townsend Bell look like Steve Letarte. Like Townsend Bell sounds like the smartest person on earth when he's next to Michael Waltrip.
The amount of praise Townsend Bell was getting for that truck race was crazy to me. Because if you don't know, in the IndyCar booth, he's considered the wink link. Like,
he is the Michael Waltrip over there.
Yeah, he's like the
Low-key.
Boyer and Michael Waltrip over there. I don't think he's as bad as some people say he is, but like
he's really not that bad.
He's definitely like the weakest between like Will Buxton and James Hinchcliffe and Lee Diffie before Buxton.
But they're pretty good though. Like that James Hinchcliffe is a high bar. Like that's kind of understandable.
And when the IndyCar booth had Paul Tracy, like, oh my God, Townsend was like fantastic. But
exactly.
Now that
I think the bar is
once
just
Tracy got replaced, yeah,
he's perfectly acceptable, honestly. Yeah. But he was really good in the truck booth, considering he was with Jamie Little and Michael Waltrip.
Oh my God.
I mean, he was explaining how it's like, he did a really good job explaining what makes a truck different from an Indy car, because a lot of IndyCar fans might have been watching that race. He knows the track. He's explaining why the trucks have no rear grip because the tires are small. They have a lot of power. He just was really smart. He explained the track, narrated, what Dario Franchitti was going through in that race. James
cool,
Hinchcliffe.
by the way. Yeah.
That whole truck race was cool. The caution's very long, which I found it interesting that I don't know if it was David Land, but somebody on Twitter was asking people at the track what they thought of the truck race. All of them were like IndyCar fans,
Yeah.
They're at St. Pete. Of course they're IndyCar fans. And they are saying, this is great, but they didn't understand the stage cautions. And I'm like, I get it. I think there is and the pit stops had people confused too, because they do non-competitive pit stops since they're not with the Cup Series that weekend. I think the compromise here is you just do a halfway break. I don't think we need to have a stage 1 and stage 2 anymore. Just do a halfway break for these weekends. Get rid of stages at other tracks. I mean, sorry, I'm just reinventing the wheel now, but I'm really not. I'm just going back to the wheel we had before.
Well, I think instead of all that, Zach, you need to just find a twink and go fast through it, honestly.
We're just going to call the turns twinks now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing commentary this weekend.
We are.
For a
hot topic, the Gay Racing Podcast is doing commentary for a Race for the Cause with Prismatic Motorsports.
Yeah,
so I'm sure we'll be reposting info on that this weekend.
They have one of their they're raising money for their big event that's in April. It's a 24-hour race at Le Mans, funny enough. But they're racing at, I believe, is it Fuji? I think they're at Fuji this weekend in iRacing. So we're doing it. Well, you follow at Gay Racing Pod. You'll see
on all the socials. We'll
let you know.
But that'll be fun. I'm sure there'll be twink jokes in that.
They'll be going through the twinks. I'll tell you what, they'll be going through all the twinks. They might be wide open too. I don't know.
All right. Well, let's see. Next one we have here is the Chris Gaypart and JGR court ruling. And this is some drama. NASCAR is fully back. We talked about this a little bit last week, but the judge ruled that Chris Gaypart can work his new role at Spire as long as he doesn't do any responsibilities that he did at Joe Gibbs Racing, which I'm curious how they're gonna enforce that. But
yeah, they were I saw a conversation about that. It could come to a point where they request evidence, I guess.
Yeah.
Which I guess they're asking everybody at that job, okay, what has he been doing? We need to see evidence of it. I can see how they can kind of police it. I can kind of see that, but
yeah,
it's still going to be difficult either way.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The next hearing in the Gaypart and JGR case or trial, whatever it is called right now, is March 16th. And I'm sure all the journalists who covered the NASCAR 2311 case are going to be on this one as well. So make sure you follow Bob, Gluck, Bianchi, etc. Yeah, that's an interesting one.
Yeah. It's kind of like it's like the DLC. It's like DLC.
Yeah.
It's NASCAR DLC. It's like, oh, people really enjoyed the 2311 case. Let's just add a little small story afterwards, a few months later.
Yeah,
Just,
little
it's
bonus
DLC.
chapter.
It's a bonus chapter. It's like, it's not as exciting as the first one, but you know what? It's more. It's more. I wasn't expecting to get more. So, hey, I'll take it. Excited to see where it goes.
Any other hot topics you'd like to discuss?
Not really. Pretty, a lot of racing this weekend. F1's coming back next weekend. I mean,
NASCAR and IndyCar are at Phoenix.
Aston Martin is not sure if they're going to finish the Australian Grand Prix. Like, they don't know if they can do the whole race distance.
I saw they might even just like start and park it. Is that allowed in F1? Can you do that?
I don't think they're going to have a choice if the engine ain't going to run. So, I mean, it's definitely allowed. I'm pretty sure.
That's crazy.
You can bring your car into the...
It'll be Cadillac's F1 debut.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Is fun. F2 racing this weekend? Is Colton Herta in F2 this weekend?
I don't know if they race at Australia. I feel like...
Okay. I don't know.
No, F2's they got supercars at Australia too. So there might be a busy weekend. So I don't think F2's there. No, I don't think F2 ever races there.
If they are, I'm sure we'll hear about Colton Herta going in the grass. So we'll talk about that if that happens. That was mean. Sorry.
And Colton, with what's going on in that part of the world, I don't even know if they'll be at Bahrain either because I don't know what's going on. I don't know if we'll be seeing
any people in charge know what's going on either.
I don't know. I wouldn't expect any racing in Bahrain. So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, let's get into fantasy. Both races are at Phoenix. For Coda, I had Connor Zilisch, who finished 14th, and Zack, you had SVG, who got second. So points are now 2-1. You have the lead. For Phoenix, I am going to take Christopher Bell.
Damn, I wanted Christopher Bell. Now who am I supposed to pick? I didn't think you were going to pick Bell.
I left you Tyler Reddick.
I don't know if I want to pick him. He's not winning 4 in a row. That's never happened.
He's really good at Phoenix.
Yeah, but they never win the spring race. That's why I'm like... who do I even pick? I'm not picking Byron. I don't want to.
I need to put you on a timer, baby.
Girl, don't sass me.
Don't sass me.
Don't sass me. Okay. Give me Tyler Reddick.
Tyler Reddick?
Tyler Reddick. I don't know. He's been up there. He's on a hot streak. Why? Sure. What the hell? Like,
what the hell? Sure.
Give me 4 in a row then. Not me going from Reddick's not going to win 4 in a row to yes, the hell he is.
Then
I switched up real quick.
Men don't believe in anything. They're just saying crap.
I believe in one thing. Alex Palou. Go ahead, put Alex Palou down for me.
Okay. So,
but short ovals. I'm sorry. He finished second at Milwaukee. He won Iowa.
He did win Iowa.
Get the hell over it. He's good everywhere.
So
come on.
For St. Pete, I had Pillow who won. So Zach does, of course, get to go first. He had Pato who finished 5th. I'm going Joseph Newgarden. Most recent winner at Phoenix a few years ago.
Wow.
When they were last there.
How original.
It's an oval.
Joseph it's a short oval. Joseph Newgarden is good at short ovals.
He is. And I'm going to have 6 points. I'm going to have 6 points in a week's time already in IndyCar.
Oh, my God. Can you believe this man? All right, Patchy. Patchy.
For the record, when I told Zach about my eye bump, you called me Zuko, and it was one of the funniest things. I said,
all right, Zuko.
That was one of the funniest things you've said to me ever, and I've known you forever now. Go. So... All right. Anything else, Zach?
No. I've said enough. I've said enough. You get some peace and quiet.
All right. Well, Patreon members, thank you so much for your support. And if you want to join the Patreon, it's $2 a month or $5 a month if you want early access to videos. But it's just $2 a month if you want to join the discussion throughout the episode. And like and subscribe on YouTube and leave 5 stars on all the podcast platforms. And follow Zach and I on the socials at Newgaden and at Zach Racing. And follow the podcast at Gay Racing Pod.
And we will see you guys next week to talk about NASCAR and IndyCar at Phoenix. Seems kind of unreal. And we might talk about F1 at Australia a little bit. We'll see.
Depends what happens.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll play it by ear. We'll see what the vibe is. All right. We'll see y'all next week. Bye.
Bye.